Good morning. It's 9 a.m. in the morning. Welcome to our Fashion Nova show. I'm your host, Esanjeri Nganga. Today in our topic, we're going to talk about fashion. I have my two panelists, Doreen Iminza, who's a fashion blogger, and we have Mulvin Odhiambo, who's a fashion designer. We are going to meet them in a few. Hope you're going to enjoy. Thank you.
Holy Spirit rain, falling like a flood. To your glory, for your glory. Oh, Holy Spirit, burn like a fire. Holy Spirit rain, falling.
Welcome to our Fashion Nova show. I'm your host, Esanjeri Nganga, and we're going to talk about fashion. And I have my designer in our studio, and we have a fashion blogger. Let me introduce yourselves. Introduce yourself.
My name is Chris Melvin, designer. I'm a designer and a stylist.
My name is Doreen. I'm a fashion blogger.
Okay, I'm so happy to have you today, and we are going to talk all about fashion. On our first question, what does fashion mean to you?
To me, fashion is more about how a person expresses himself through what he wears. Yeah.
And what about you, Doreen?
To me, fashion is an outward expression of the inner you. So the way you are in the inside, it's reflected by the way you dress and how you feel about yourself.
Okay, and you being a designer, so where do you buy most of your outfits from?
Yeah, let me say most of my outfits I usually do them second-hand clothes.
Mtumba.
Mtumba. Because usually you find them, they are always unique.
Yeah.
And you can't even get them each and every place. But for sometimes for quality, maybe I can go for the new ones.
Okay, and what about you, Doreen?
I design my own clothes,
Wow.
but sometimes if I want to get some unique pieces, I get them from LT Waikiki or Mr. Price.
Wow, that's so good of you. And you being a designer, definitely you have some accomplishments. And would you mind telling our guests what your accomplishments are?
Yeah, personally, first, my accomplishment. First, I've worked with Mr. Toom, the one for 2017-2018. It's one of my first projects that I did. So you generally come up with the looks that you used to get from tradition, from the official wear that you wore, and then maybe the looks that you was wearing after becoming Mr. Toom, because you know the platform is Mr. Toom. It's all about how you express yourself, what you wear, the logo that you give the school and something like that. So after that one, I've worked with some other few clients because I have my own fashion design house. So I have my own clients which I've worked with them.
So you mean in every occasion you are the one who always dress Mr. Toom?
Yeah, most of them, when I'm around, that is, I'm the one who gives him the looks, maybe consult with me, and then come up with something that will be classy or something that will be good for any occasion, depending on the occasion that is.
And apart from Mr. Toom, from the Toom fraternity, which other students or a student leader that you have designed?
Oh, okay. I have a partner who is in Dubai. He is the CEO of Swanky Wear.
Wow, yeah.
We always work with him. So you have another designer who is in Nairobi too. We work with him. So we come up with designs. He's the one who, if you come up with the design, he's the one who comes with the implementation of it. You have a concept, you give that person, he implements it. So apart from that, I've worked with several students. Yeah.
And for you, Doreen, you being a blogger, what are some of your accomplishments?
First, it's starting my own line, which is everything made in Kenya, like from the materials to the models I use and everything, they're from Kenya. So having something creating unique pieces that are inspiration from Kenya. Yeah, like starting this culture of us making our own clothes and proudly being Kenyan. Yeah.
Definitely, you being a designer. Definitely, when you started doing fashion, you had passion before you started having the dreams that you are having now. You being as a designer, what's the most passionate thing about you being a fashion designer in the fashion industry?
Let me say, when it comes to fashion, what makes me passionate is just seeing, maybe you come up with something and you give your client. When you give your client something and then you can see that whatever you have done for him, he or she is very satisfied. It's something that goes with him or her, how she feels, the way she expresses herself. For a person, it's all about what you wear. Talks about how you relate with others, your confidence, how you do your things. So it matters to me a lot when I see someone can maybe change the look or feel good in an outfit. When you give him that look and then he feels like, wow, since I started now wearing this thing like this or doing this thing like this, I've been happy, I can feel more radiant on something. Yeah. So it makes me go for more and more and more. And personally, even me, I use the way I wear, the things that I do, always encourage me to do more and more and more.
Okay. And for you, Doreen, you being a blogger, what's the most passionate thing?
Content creation. When you come up with some unique pieces that people really love, you feel motivated, and because it's a passion, you continue to do some really great work. Yeah, because you know what you're doing and you want to be an inspiration also. Yeah.
And you, Mr. Designer, what are some of the experiences that you are willing to bring to your brand so that it can be marketable out there?
Okay, for me as a brand, is something that you're supposed to come with something unique, something that is not be complicated and something that will fit the audience. So for me, I will try and come up with something that maybe for me as a brand, I have my own brand, and I have a team that I'm working with for my brand. So it's called Young and Different. So if you see that brand, mostly you see simplicity, and then you go with the trend. Maybe you can have your own brand, your own logo, but you have to look at what does the market want. How do the market want it to be? If your market are the students, your market are the people who are working, what can I give them so that maybe they can feel, now this product I can consume it. Is it a shirt? Is it a dress top? Is it anything? So you go with how do you see people are, what do they want, what are they doing? So people like that. But we go with simplicity and what the people will like. Yeah.
What about you, Doreen, your experience as a fashion blogger?
Mine, it's about being authentic and keeping it real. Like, you have to be just yourself, and because it's a passion, you'll work towards creating some really authentic and real pieces, not something that you've just copied from someone or something that has ever been done before. It's about some really nice stuffs which are classic and simple, elegant at the same time.
And you, definitely both of you being the best out of the best people in the fashion industry, definitely you dressed some celebrities. Would you mind telling us the celebrities that you have designed, you being especially a designer in fashion?
Yeah. Like I've said earlier, I've dealt with Mr. Tum,
Okay.
and too I've dealt with Mr. Youth Mombasa. I've dealt with him, and maybe I was planning maybe find some other clients who are maybe influential or maybe famous or anything, but apart from that, I've just had normal clients to people who are working, normal students, but yeah.
Okay, what about you, Doreen?
As for me, I'm the one who dresses the news anchors in K24. So some of my top models, or I can say people I've worked with, are Betty Carlo, Selena, among other people. So being out there on YouTube gives you a larger platform. Like, you get to meet a lot of people, and if you're doing something good, they're going to be interested and they'll reach out to you.
Yeah, and definitely when you are, let's say, in the fashion industry, there's some ways which you can do to improve your product, to improve your brand, to improve your company that will outstand other companies, other products, other brands. What do you think will improve your brand, you being a designer in this fashion industry?
Like, I think for me, it's all about looking at the market, the trends, and maybe trying to project, because with fashion, nothing gets old. You can have something that is trending today and maybe not trend in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So maybe you can have a logo, you can have something, maybe some clothing trend at this time. So you can want to be innovative and project. Think about what will the future like the generation that you are living now,
Yeah.
what will be the future for them? What do they want? So if you think in that line, you'll find yourself being innovative, coming up with products or fashion that people will like to consume maybe in coming in you, and that will enable you to make higher profits. Yeah.
And you, Doreen, you being a fashion blogger, how can you improve your brand in fashion blogging? How can you?
It's just identifying your style, because style is timeless. There's no any time something that you've created and it's so unique, like trends. You know, trends, they come and go. Like he has said, you can have something so nice and unique, and then as because it's a trending stuff, like 2 years from now, if you wear it, will be like, oh, who's still wearing this? But if you know your style, work on it, even 10 years later, it will look like it's so classic and everything. And also establishing the right connection. Know people, work with them, and by referrals, you can really grow your business and everything. Yeah, and keep up to date with what is going on, what other designers are doing, what other bloggers are putting out there, and with that, your brand will grow.
Okay. And definitely, all of you, you've come from somewhere. Let's say from somewhere. Obviously, you can't just arise from nowhere. Definitely, you start from somewhere small. And do you have any type of projects that you are doing that are helping those people who are in the rural areas, that they really have the passion but they don't have the funds, they don't have the capital, or they don't have those people to motivate them? Do you have any projects that would help them to improve on their passion on fashion?
Yeah, I use my platform like for young designers, young stylists, and those want to be aspiring fashion bloggers. Through my YouTube channel, I tag them along, showcase their unique pieces and everything that they are doing. When you put people out there, I know you can meet someone who'll be interested in their work, and by that they can easily get it. Also holding those fashion shows where those upcoming like fashion enthusiasts, they can come, showcase their pieces, meet with other designers, learn from them, and from that you can grow.
Love for fashion has put me in a place that I was able to come up with a group called Young and Different. Mainly that group has three objectives: entrepreneurship, talent support, and fashion. So we came up with the idea that we want to use fashion as a tool to influence people, because the way you appear, the way you dress talks much about you.
Yeah.
No one will know about you, what's inside you, but the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, talks much about you. So in the fashion part of it, we look for how to dress like in the group, the same, how to do a look, so that maybe if you come out there for an event, maybe we go for charity work, when you attend maybe an event, anything that we will go as a group, we can come and influence something, you can come and change something, you can come and inspire someone, and maybe show someone. You can see these guys have just wore black and white. It's cool, it's black and white. Maybe they've done it in the most simple way, but it's brought something. So things like that. So from there, we have been encouraging people to try and use fashion as a tool, so that maybe they can work on that. Some people are not confident, not because of their body structure and all, just because the way they wear. So you can try and show someone you don't have to wear expensive things, you don't have to wear Supreme, you don't have to wear anything. You can just come up with something simple and you can make it look nice on you. Yeah.
Especially on the way you say that you are based mostly on the second-hand clothes. I see many of the young girls, they buy most of their outfits from Tumba, and when you look at that person will really look elegant, and that girl will really look so classy. I think we should promote the Mtumba thing as a brand for improving our fashion more, because it's kind of affordable to all the people and it's not expensive. And let's say for that person who wants to locate you, where are you located in our country?
Personally, I'm now based in Mombasa because of my studies, but Nairobi too, I can be found in Nairobi. So mostly I'm in Mombasa, around Majengo area.
Okay, what about you, Doreen?
I'm based in Nairobi. So I have my shop in Nairobi. But you can follow me on Instagram or on Twitter We're on Facebook and check out my work.
What are your social handles?
During the designer everywhere.
What about you? What are your social media handles?
Chris Melvin Designer, Facebook, Chris Melvin Designer, Instagram.
Okay, and definitely you guys, you have some challenges that you are facing, you being a designer and you being a fashion blogger. As we wrap up, what are your challenges?
Like personally for me, I can say sometimes capital has been an issue because sometimes you can have an idea, but that idea can be failed to be implemented just because you had that idea, but maybe you didn't have a way of implementing it. Maybe because of its complexity, maybe because it was something that required maybe high capital and something like that. And then when it comes to satisfying now your customers, some people may come, they may not give you the feedback that you want. Some will be disappointed. We come, maybe we make some design for him or her, and maybe after the results, you should not be happy. When it comes to things like payment, some of them will fail you. Some of them want for you to do any like a charity work or something for help. But some things like this makes the industry hard to makes things hard for you to do, like to continue with your work.
Okay, thank you so much for having you in my studio. You being our designer and our fashion blogger. I hope all will go well with their fashion industry. And that's all that we had for today in our Fashion Nova show. I've been your host, Esanjirina. Thank you.
Holy Spirit rain, falling like a flood, break upon my praise as I sing of your love. Holy Spirit fire, burn within my soul as I call.